If you're trying to buy a laptop for your child, you want him to attend online classes during this COVID-19 lockdown situation, and you probably have a budget. So here I am doing some survey, and I want to suggest you how you can go for the best one. Okay, you want it at the minimum price, but then you don't want it to be overpriced. So you don't know what is the right fit. In this video, I'll explain that. First, how you should think when you try to buy a laptop for your kid. Don't underestimate. For example, think of it like when you're trying to buy a shoe for your kid. You try to buy a size that is a little higher, little larger than the current feet size. So similarly, when you buy a laptop, make some room. Your child will grow, and with time, the software will have upgrades and updates. That means they will need more memory, more processor. So, what is an ideal processor as of 2020? Ideal processor I would recommend is you should go for laptops and you should type Core i5. Now, Core i5 is the processor for the laptop, and that's the key thing in any laptop. If you have a good processor, then things will last for long. People may suggest you to go for a Core i3, but then that may not be good in every case. For example, if you see this one, the search result is about Core i3. This is not the right thing for me. So what I should do now is I should go on this to the left panel, and here I should say Core i5 should be selected, and now I get only i5. Now don't go with this high price. You will find other price ranges as well. Okay, now we are going to change that. I need at least 8 GB. 6 is good enough for a child, but I think 8 is a good room. If you can go higher, I don't want you to select from my options. I'm teaching you how to select. So if you want to, if you have a budget, you go ahead and increase this RAM to higher one. But I think 12, 16 and more is for a developer, like it's for a professional. You wouldn't need that much. And Windows 10, obviously you would need Windows 10. Now hard disk at least 500, right? You don't have a lesser than 500. And if you are able to get a solid state drive, I'll talk about that later. We'll not fix this. Let's go about whatever we have right now. Now we see that the price ranges are quite high. It may not suit. Let's take this one. This has Core i5, 8 GB, and it is a 10 generation. So it is good one if you can still increase it. So this is a kind of a laptop or shoe that will last longer, that can stretch beyond the time. It's like buying a raincoat and it will serve you for 2, 3 years. A raincoat, you don't buy a raincoat for this year only. So if you have a budget to go for an better generation, if you look at this one, this is a laptop with 7th generation. So 7th generation Core i5. This is a slower laptop, and it is okay for now, but in future it will be difficult. You may not immediately feel that it is slow, but then over a period of time, you waste so much time waiting for opening files, for processing. All these things that happens on laptop will be slower in this. Now to fix the price range, see on the left side, let's first go for the minimum price possible. Can I get a laptop in the 30 to 40K for a Core i5? Now when I do that, this is what I get. I'm still getting Core i5 7th generation. What about the 8th generation? Now 8th generation 34, it looks wow, but look at this part. It means renewed. Renewed means this laptop has been pre-owned, and they have refurbished it, they have tested it, and it looks like it will work better. So like work better means it need not be considered as a second hand, but then there is a risk. They also come with a 90 days warranty, but you should have an appetite to take that risk. So most of the things that you see here is either Core i7 or renewed. So you can do that search, but for me, I don't see any laptop that comes between 30 to 40, and it is Core i5 8th generation. So now I will change that. I'll go to 40 to 50, and let's say I'm in 40 to 50 thousand price range, and it looks like it is 15.6 inch. Now 15.6 inch is a normally that's what a laptop size we see, but for a child it may be a little big. You have to put it in his bag, or you someday when the lockdown opens up, he may have to carry it for learning or moving around. 14 is a decent size. 13 is too small. And I'm not talking about Mac anyway. So you can try Mac in Mac for your child. But for a Mac, I think most of the online schools will have the teachers will have Windows. So most of the instructions they may pass on will be on Windows. So until you have a Mac user at home, if you're a parent and you use Mac and you can tell how to do the same thing on Mac, you will have your child will struggle with it. Now I have found this one. This is Core i5 8th generation, 8 GB. This is also a good fit. It's an Acer. One thing people ask me, does the brand matter? In my experience, brand doesn't matter much. What matters is the handling of the laptop. You should be very careful when you handle it. I see people carrying the laptop, by with one hand with the laptop open. You should always close the laptop and use both your hands to carry it. So if you mishandle, any brand is not worth it. Even Mac will crash or will break if you don't handle it right, even though they are more sturdy, more stable laptops. For example, what I've experienced it, if you look at this one, this particular laptop, yeah, if you see this laptop has kind of a hinge here. These kind of hinged laptops, I've seen the screen come out. This part of the monitor will come out, so the display will come out. That's a problem with this kind of connections. You should have a more wider base for it. So because you keep opening and closing it every time. And I also see most people use the right hand, hold the laptop on this edge, and they close it. Don't do that. Use both your hands, left and right. If there's a left side, hold it here and then close it slowly, gently. You have to be gentle. So if you are able to be gentle and do it, then in that case, your laptop will last longer and you will have uh, a better pricing. You can go for a cheaper brand as well. So finally, what I want to tell you is in 2020, if you're trying to buy a laptop for your child, I would prefer not to go under Core i5. I know you have budget restrictions with this, all the economy situation. You will be tempted to go for Core i3. i3 will serve okay for now. You will feel satisfied that you have a laptop, but then it will not serve you for a longer period. So you may try the EMI option, and that is your decision whether you want to do that. But then I would recommend don't go below Core i5. And if you can stretch till 8th generation, that is better. Still, if you can't go for 8th, then you can probably go for 7th. But remember the shoe example. Okay, in the memory range, this normally these days they come with more than 6 GB. So 8 GB is average thing. And because you have Windows 10, you see Windows 10 is the latest operating system from Windows, and they have stopped supporting earlier ones. So you probably will have no option but to have Windows 10, and it takes up a lot of RAM. So it's better you have 8 GB. If you can go for more than that, that is good. Some laptops also allow you to upgrade the RAM in future, but then you can buy it right now. The other factors are not really that important. If you are into video gaming and all, you need to make sure that it has a graphics card. Most of the laptops have inbuilt graphic cards, so you don't need an additional one if you're not a gamer, right? So that's all for you to look at. Go look at Core i5, Windows 10, and don't go below 8 GB RAM. Brand does not matter. You'll have to handle it carefully. If you have a more budget, go for Core i7. That is real good one. And if you have a kid in your class 10, your child is in class 10 and probably or in 12, and next he may want to use it in his engineering or higher studies, then I would suggest go for Core i7 if the budget supports, or go for Core i5 with 10th generation. Because when you go further in computer science, you will be installing virtual machines and other softwares onto it, which will take a lot of processors. You will be probably installing Android Studio or other development environment, which takes a lot of RAM, a lot of CPU. That will give a sluggish performance if you don't have a good processor. So go for a Core i7 if you are in class 10 or class 12. Uh, but you can also go for Core i5 8th generation. Even that is okay. That's all. Thank you.